different strategy at each level. So for prelims and mains, the books that you'll be relying for will be the same. So I'll just, I think, depending on the subject, I'll just tell you the books which I use. They were basic books, nothing out of the blue that I, scored out of from some different shop that you guys don't have access to. It was the basic books. So for example, polity, you take up, it was Lakshmikant. And apart from Lakshmikant, these are books you have to read for both mains and prelims. Right now, I'm mainly telling you for prelims. For mains, I also added certain more things for my own, which I'll tell you later. So Lakshmikant was there. For prelims last year, I also went through the Bare Act. Just the Bare Act. I just revised it 2 times before it won't take too much time. So it looks like a very fat thing, but however many articles are there in the Constitution, you just read that. You have already gone through that in Lakshmikant. So it's not as if you just replace Lakshmikant, but if you have had multiple revisions of Lakshmikant, you can go through the Bare Act in terms of cracking certain prelims questions. Sometimes the question is the Constitution mentions this. So you know that you've read it in Lakshmikant, but you don't know if it's mentioned in the Constitution. So if you just go through that, I think it personally worked for me. If you don't have time for that, it's completely fine. I'm just telling you what I did. So first was that, polity, then economics. So economics, I was in the residential coaching academy at Jamia. So there was, I didn't go for all the classes there, but there was a sir who sadly passed away during the pandemic, Zulfikar sir. So his notes I mainly relied on. And so they were available. I used that. Some people who were preparing alongside me also looked at certain other notes which are available in the market. If you're coming for coaching classes, I think sir teaches economics here. You can just rely on your coaching classes notes. So I think the most important thing is relying on one source. So whatever coaching you're going for, whatever classes you're going for, just stick to those notes. Apart from that, you can refer any book. I personally didn't use it. 11th class NCRTs, people who have absolutely no background and who want to go through the basics of micro, macro and Indian economic development can go through the 11th, 12th NCRTs as well. Economics, history. I personally had a history optional background, so I didn't go through many other books, but Spectrum is one thing all of you can go through for modern history. For ancient and medieval, there are 2 ways of going about it. So one is the chronology based idea. So the old NCRTs, which is R.S. Sharma and Satish Chandra, are usually used for getting a basic hang of what the chronology was. For the prelims, I also went through the themes books. But because I was already a humanities student, it took me a little less time. I just skimmed through them and jotted down points which I thought were important with regard to the prelims. So that is more useful for a thematic sort of study after you know the chronology of what happened in ancient, medieval and modern. So that is how I went about with history. Geography, just sticking to the basic NCRTs, 11th and 12th mainly. You can also go back 9th, 10th if you feel you're not able to get a hang of the 11th ones. So that is there. What other subjects are there? Can any of you? Environment. Towards the end, closer to my prelims, I also used to do a sort of analysis of previous year papers. So based on that, I made a Google map of major national parks and sanctuaries in terms of understanding their location and not just like remembering them. So I just used to pin them and look there. I made a list of the endangered animals, the 22 species recovery program, just getting a hang of the environment that those specific animals live in. So certain things apart from the book you have to do on your own. So those things I used to sort of make a list about